Hey Sarah, this is your flower. Now I've put down your business flower because I thought it's sort of more about your business goal and where you want to go with that one. Again, I do apologize for the lateness of this. I have tried a couple of times to get it done and have not succeeded. My daughter was up, so I've been playing grandmas and stuff. So I know I'm naughty. Okay, here is your flower. Now I'm going to bring it over in front of me so I can see it properly. Okay, so we've talked about it a little bit with your flower. We've got quite a bit of it discussed. And the thing is with this one, again, it's coming from the side. When we look at that, when it's coming from the side, it's actually coming from the future. So it's these thoughts and these ideas that you've got coming from the future. This is where you want to go. This is how you want to do it. And you've got to sort of bring it into fruition. And I can see that happening really well with the way that the journey, the stem is. But let me go a little bit back first. All right. The flower itself is in the format. So we all know that is more of a community-minded flower. So the whole goal is more community-minded. When we look at that goal, we get an understanding that could be of a negative nature. So something negative that's happening in the community that is making you want to step up and help. And because this is a business, I would say we're looking at creating a career, a business aspect like coaching or any of the healing aspects. Getting my tongue tied, sorry. Anything to do with the healing side, anything to do with the yoga, the group work, that sort of aspect you're looking at. Now, I do know you did tell me you were looking at it was a group work that you were looking at. So I'm going to focus on that terminology so you've got an understanding of where I'm going with it. Now, when you drew this, so we've got no leaves here to tell us who the guides are. So you are going to get through this quite easily on your own. What we have got is the stem. And as I said, it's coming up from the future. So the thoughts, the patterns, the ideas, the direction you want to go has come from the future. So that sounds strange. It is your thinking. Like it's not been a past experience that you've had that's taking you forward. It's something that you've wanted to do, something you've always wanted to do or you look forward to doing. So it's something from the future that you've wanted to do. It is actually going to come into fruition. When we look at it, your path is pretty straight and it opens up into this, like, it's almost like the calyx, the protection of the start of a flower. So when you have the start of a flower, like this rose, you can see the calyx. It's underneath here. See this part hanging down here? That's the calyx. I don't know if you can see that properly. Oh, yeah, down there I am. So this is the calyx that you'll see. And it's almost like that bulby start to your flower. So it's when we look at that, to me, it's like there's going to be a lot of thoughts, decisions, a lot of developing before it actually comes to fruition. And it's going to be in a state where it's in a closed state that you're not aware of. If you can imagine this area in here is where the flowers, the leaf, petals and everything else were developing in this big area. So when we see that, then we go, well, there's going to be a lot of development, a lot of understanding to it. So for you, I would be going, okay, so we need to put things in place, get things in place before we can actually get this business going or get this group going. There's going to be things that you need to put in place, which are normal things like you're starting a business. You're going to need things like websites and Facebooks, and you're going to need a place to hold it. You're going to need to do marketing. You need to get some of this stuff together, because what you're doing in the group work that you're talking about, you need to really connect with people. You really need that connection. And that's going to take a lot of work to start with. And when I say a lot of work, it's not hard work. It's just constant work. There's constant development happening behind the scenes before this can become into fruition. Okay. And this is what this is, all that work behind the scenes. So, but again, you're protected. You've got this. There's not a problem with this. This is just getting the right people and getting the right understanding of it, and learning and growing from it. Because basically, once it blossoms, it's all systems go, and we can see that. And the other aspect we can see quite strongly is the edgings that you've got around your petals, and that. Oh, I'll go right through that in a sec, but yeah, that's really telling me that you are putting all these things in place, all this structure in place. So the whole flower itself is of a circular nature. The petals are of a circular. There's nothing masculine in this flower whatsoever. Okay, so it's all very, very feminine, and that's why I say you've got to get your social media up to date in this context, because you are not going to be doing Google Ads marketing. And if you were, come to me, because I do Google Ads marketing, but no, you will not be doing Google Ads marketing. You will be doing everything in a soft, in the form of marketing and attraction, because it's a business flower. So we look at the petals of attraction as marketing. So as a business flower, everything has to be of a feminine nature, very, very strongly of a feminine nature. So there's none of this hard sell. This is all soft sell. Now, when I say soft sell, I'm talking about doing like social media marketing in a context where everything you put on the social media is of a marketing nature. Everything you put on is a marketing nature. Now, I'd like to explain this a little bit more, because one of the things that I do outside of this is we do organic marketing. So, and that's what I'm talking about. This is what you really need, is organic marketing. I'm going to try and bring a picture of mine up so you can see what I am talking about, because this is going to be really important for you. Where's all my stuff? Social media marketing here. So here we go. Right. So when we look at any of this, here's one which is about, okay, let me show you this. Share screen. Oops, wrong one. Okay, I can't share that one. I've got to share another one. I want you to see this, because this is sort of important. Okay, this is what we call organic marketing, right? This is what you need to do. So I'm using the word intuition because everything I do is about intuition, and I've got intuition via the sacral chakra. And what it means is that gut feeling you have about someone else or something happening in the community. What I'm doing is I'm still marketing my intuition side of things. I've got my, my little logo and everything else, but I'm giving information. It's still marketing. It's still a type of marketing. So we need to, that's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to do a lot of that. Let me see if I've got another one. I can explain it even. What's this one? I can't see. Okay, so I'll show you this one. So these are things that you can do to help you with your marketing. This is another passive one. Intuition will guide you on your soul's intention. It's passive marketing. I'm not saying to you buy anything. I'm not saying you've got to do this, you've got to do that. There's no call to action there. There is in the words, yes, but not in the image. Okay, so this is a sort of thing that you're going to need to get that business up and running. You're going to need to do a lot of passive marketing. Passive, I call it organic. So it's got to be in line. This is in line with my colors. This is in line with my words. So we've got to use the words for keywords. We've got to cover off on all that. And that's what passive marketing is all about. And then you throw in a few of the other marketings, which are like this. Again, it's still passive, or it's still organic, and we put it in the writing. So time to try something different. Achieving your goals is now creative, intuitive art readings. Okay, so that's the sort of thing that you need to do. Again, it's still in line. It's still got the color. It's still got, this one's got a little bit of a call to action because it's got my, sorry, wrong one. It's got my website on it. It's still got my logo on it, but and it's got a nice picture. This is what you need to do. And that's when I sort of say, you with your passive marketing. Now I've got to find your picture again. Where did I put? Oh, there it is. Share your picture. When I say you've got to do the passive marketing, that's what it's all about, okay? Let me bring your picture in front of me again so I can see it. Okay, so we're talking about all this marketing, and that's what you've got to do to get out there. It's all got to be very passive. It's not to be aggressive. And what they're doing is they're getting used to who you are. Now, while you're setting up all this business, you can start to create some of these posts and these understandings, or you've got to get an understanding of the colors you want to use. You get an understanding of the colors you want to use, your font you want to use, the logo you want to use, all that sort of side to it. So there's a lot of this here happening. And the sooner and the better you get this base for your business going, the better it's going to blossom. Okay, so you really need to have that nice and strong before it will blossom. Okay, again, we're looking at the attraction, and we can look at the colors. So yellow towards the outside. I'm actually looking at motivation on the yellow on the outside, because people will need to be motivated when you first attract them. And see how we've got these big areas, that there's the bigger leaf, bigger petals to the outside. So you're going to need more of that. Big motivations, big areas, which could be like a free session once a week, or buy 8 sessions, get 2 free, or something like that. You want those bigger motivations to come through first, and then we bring it tighter and tighter as we get to the heart of it. And what will happen when you start doing this passive or organic marketing, you start to get these people that are called, you call raving fans. We call them raving fans. They need to be motivated to start with. Hey, give me your email and you can download this free how to, develop your intuition. You offer something for free, collect their emails, and then you can start to connect with them a bit more. So you're giving away these big areas, this motivation to move, motivation to go forward or change. And then as they get closer to the center, they don't need the big motivation. There's going to be lots of smaller ones. So if you can imagine, I don't know if you understand how they work the funnels for business. They work what they call funnels. So they put out like a free event, or they put out just download your email, you can get this for free. They put out something easy and you get a lot of people. Then they send you emails that you get not as many people. And it funnels right down until you get exactly the right person for who you are and what you do. And you get that really, really narrow niche that is perfect for you. That's exactly how you've drawn this flower. Okay, a wider open here we are, take this, pick this. And as they get closer to your heart center, to what you really, really want to do and how you really, really want to help them, the invitations get smaller. They get more detailed. They get more particular. So we get closer to you. It's like, okay, you're not going to get how to develop your intuition. I'm going to show you exactly how to meditate to develop your intuition. And you get closer and you niche it right down until you get to where you need to be. You're telling me that with your image. What you have drawn, what your intuition has drawn is telling us that. Put out big stuff. Hey, pick this, pick this. So motivation, I would say motivate them to come to you, motivate them to have a look. It might not be for all the right reasons or the exact reasons, but say out of those 10 people you invite that come to it, you might only get 2, and that's fine. And out of those 2, one might work with you a bit longer and go a bit further. And that's what it's all about. Now, the orangey red sort of color, I'm going to energetic. So I'm thinking that it needs to have that that physical element to it, especially if you're working on something like mindset or emotions or things like that. We want a physical element to it. So that orange, the yellow is more about motivate. Come on, come on, come on. The orange is let's do this. Come on, we can do this, and more physical. Then we're going to move into the blue, and we start to go deeper into the understanding. And look, I always go to communication with blue, and I probably more of an understanding, communication and understanding. Yeah, understanding. And that's so you're getting this understanding of them. You're starting to give them information that they need that is more direct with exactly who they are. And we're laying it. It's all getting layered as we go into the center. The red towards the center, leadership for sure, not a problem. Definitely leadership, because you're going to be, how do I put this? You're going to be walking the walk. You're talking the talk and walking the walk. So you're doing it. You're there with them. You're going to have times there when life's shit and you're not happy, and you're going to tell them and they're going to accept it, and that's all part of life. And then you're going to have other times where life's just so fun and you don't care and you're just there. And people are going to really resonate with that. Very, very much so. The very center is sort of the yellowy browns, isn't it? Well, I go to reliability and dependable for the browns, and then the yellow, I still go for the joy with the yellow there. Now, I know it's not a lot of joy in that center there, because it doesn't need to be. There's that is about you. So it's just knowing that you're getting that little bit hits of joy, that's what you need. That's what I want. And that is what's going to keep you going, especially with that heart center. So there is a heart in it. It's a very, very deep heart center. It's not shallow. It's not flashy. It's very, there's a, how can I express it? There is, the word that's coming through is, it's very deep. It's very meaningful. I know the word. You're going to have a lot of like pride in the ability to hold this space, and that's what's going to give you the joy. So it's that being dependable, being joyful, it's all about that. It's really feeling that you're holding this space, and I don't want it to feel like it's a burden, because it isn't. But being dependable is important to you. There's this really core element of it that, you know, being reliable, being dependable, people can depend on you to be there. And that's part of that joy that you have. Other times it'll give you the shits, but most of the time it's going to give you the joy that you need. And I think it's going back even further with that is you feel you didn't have anyone there to protect you or to that you could depend upon. That's what I'm thinking of. You didn't have someone there that you could depend upon. And so dependence, and I don't mean somebody to be dependent on you, but just knowing that there's somebody there, you know, you can rely on someone, you can depend on someone. And I don't mean that in a negative way as a crutch. I mean it is in a real positive way. So that's that side of it. The other thing I was going to talk about was the structure of the petals too, like this deeper outside that you've got. Now that is structure. Now, even though these petals are soft and flouncy and quite beautiful, there's a lot of structure to them still. Okay, so you're just like me. Okay, so when you're looking at doing your attraction, which is your marketing, then start to have a good understanding of the structure behind it. Okay, you need to get a really clear understanding. When I showed you those images, I'm going to show you this next one. Hang on too. I know, I'm sorry, I'm being a pain in the bum just showing you all my crap, but I just want you to see this, where I got all those images from. See all the images I've got on there? That's the part of the structure side of it. I got really hot. That's part of the structure side of it that I'm talking about, okay? For all of these images, I have a little spiel, little write-up that I can post, and I will put it on social media, and I schedule it all. That's the structure side to it. And that's what you need to have as well. You need to have this very distinct structure so you can see what you've got, where you're going, and what's happening there. That's going to be quite important for you, because for me, and I don't know about you, but for me, social media can be a pain in the freaking bum. And that's saying it nicely. So, and I've lost your picture again. It can be a real pain. It really can be. So don't, here it is. So by doing something like that, by putting all this together, it allows you then not to be so concerned with social media. You sort of get it all done, fix it all up, make sure it's all right, put it all together, and then you schedule it and you don't look at it again. Okay, that's one of the ways I get through it. So I don't have to do social media, and I'm across most of the social media platforms, across them a few ways, and I actually work this, what you've got. That is basically how I've done mine. I've done it. I've created the structure. I've created these softer marketing things, and then I've put it out. And I talk to people all over the place, and then we get closer and closer to what I can do for them and bring them into my heart center. So this flower really, really resonates with me in that. And the differences between the motivation and then what did I have for that one? Energetic. I still feel that's movement. But this communication is really, really important before you bring them into that red and the heart and the love and stuff like that. That, I hope that makes sense for you. Oh my goodness, don't I talk? I just go on and on and on. It's embarrassing, honestly. All right, I'm going to see if I can get Alistair's done before we finish, before I go and get this dinner ready. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. That was yours, Sarah. Sorry, I'm trying to look what I'm doing.